Hi everyone. Hello. I'm Kushlani, and let's see. Hello YouTube. Hello Instagram. It appears that this is working properly, so that's good. Hello, welcome to Noon Yoga. Maybe you're just here to move a little bit. I don't have anything super exciting or weird planned. My classes are usually fairly foundational, I think. Feel free to add on any crazy stuff. If you're the type of person who can levitate on a single fingertip, by all means, throw in as much of that as you want. Make sure you're listening to your own body. If any of my cues lead you into movement that feels tweaky or uncomfortable or sharp, back out, abandon ship. Try not to get into those spots. I know we talk sometimes in yoga classes about finding your limit. I'm going to welcome you to not even look for your limit today. If that's how you feel and you want to do that, by all means. And if not, don't stress about it. Okay, so I'm going to get started here with some pretty traditional movements, sun salutations, or A variation. So we're going to start by bringing our attention to our feet on the mat. Right, maybe close down your eyes. And maybe I'll check and see. I've got some music playing just so I don't have to sit here in my own silence. But if that's weird, if someone wants to type me a little note saying, turn that music off, Kushlani, I'll check here in a minute. But let's close down the eyes. Maybe bring the attention to the soles of the feet. You might rock from side to side and get a sense that the weight can shift from one edge of the foot to the other. Right? Maybe you can find a place where it seems like your pinky toe side of the foot and the big toe side of the foot are both pushing equally into the mat. Right? So with those strong feet, we're going to kind of walk the attention up the body here. So lift the kneecaps slightly so that the quads are engaged, not like a death grip, right? But just a little engagement, right? The feet are wide and pressing down. Kneecaps and quads are lifting up. Bring some attention to the hips, right? The tilt of the pelvis here will curl the pubic bone forward and up slightly. The tailbone will drag down and lengthen the spine behind you. On an inhale, you can roll the shoulders up and back and down on the exhale. Right, so we're really plugging the shoulders down and into their sockets, opening the front of the chest slightly. On your next inhale, maybe feel the back of the neck, the crown of the head rising and getting lighter. On the exhale, ground down into all four corners of the feet. We'll take 2 more breaths in relative stillness here. Inhaling to find length and extension. Exhaling to find grounding and a hugging in. Once more, inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, you can blink open the eyes and let's sweep the arms up and overhead. Maybe the palms can touch. Exhale, fold forward. Strong legs here, maybe bend deeply into the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, roll those shoulders back, curl the pubic bone forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. I'm going to lower my knees because my wrists aren't warm. Exhale, push up. Ribs just tapping the triceps. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. If your down dog is not a posture that you love or want at this point in your practice, I like cat pose as an alternative. Right? That way you can allow the wrists to warm up and still get that nice long feeling, wide feeling across the back. On an inhale, look forward. On an exhale, drive the hips back and find your squatted dog. Heels might lift. Keep driving the palms into the mat here. Maybe the pinkies are moving away from one another. On your next inhale, step to your halfway lift. Neutralize the lumbar spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up to strong legs. And exhale, fold forward. That's one sun A. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Lumbar spine is neutral. Exhale, plant the hands and find that low push-up. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. I'm dropping my knees here. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. We'll take about 5 breaths here in this down dog. I'm going to come back to cat pose, right, and put my palms facing up. Kind of work into my wrists a little bit for the little bit of a warm up here. Maybe one more breath in this down dog or down cat. On an inhale, look forward. On an exhale, squat it back. On an inhale, step to that halfway lift with a neutral spine. Exhale and fold. This time, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, finding chair pose. And again, let's try and keep the pubic bone rolling forward and up. Tailbone is dragging down. Kind of an upright chair here. Right, shoulders are right over the hips as opposed to this sort of reaching chair. One more inhale. On the exhale, let's fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. We're going through some sun Bs here. So we'll come through a vinyasa. That's the push-up, the back bend, and the down dog. Then we'll turn the left toes and step the right foot forward. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands. You can switch out the legs or come through a full vinyasa first. Inhaling up, exhaling back, turn the right toes, step the left. Inhale up, here's your warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands. We're meeting in down dog. Exhaling through that push-up. Inhaling, upward facing. Exhale, up and back. I think I'll check. No one it seems is complaining about music, so that's good. Glad y'all can hear. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, squat it back. Hug the ribs away from the legs here, even as you deepen this squat. One more inhale where you are. One more exhale. Inhale, step it to the halfway lift with a neutral spine. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Finding that chair. Check in that you're not popping the booty out, right? Pubic bone forward, tailbone down. Holding 2. Holding 1. On your next exhale, fold forward. Strong legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. One last sun B variation here. Exhale, down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, up and back. Turn the left toes. Step the right. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, down. You might just switch out the legs or come through that 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Turn the right toes. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, warrior. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Maybe coming through that 3-legged push-up. Upward facing, downward facing. So, pedaling out the heels here. See if you can let go of the chin here. The chin is reaching back toward the sternum. The back of the neck is easy. We're going to come through about a dozen or so standing postures, most of the time with the left leg back. So keeping the left leg grounded, let's inhale, right heel high. Toes are flexed toward the face. Maybe if you look back, you can see the big toe, right? The ribs are tracking back and up. On an inhale, let's drag the heel to the seat and lift that knee to the sky. See if you can open up through the hips. On your next inhale, we'll re-extend, square the hip in its socket. Exhale, knee to nose. We'll inhale up and back, three-legged dog. We'll open up, drag the heel into the seat. We'll re-extend on the inhale, exhale, knee to nose, and then we'll work that right foot between the hands. Head into warrior one. So maybe train track the feet here, and inhale, rise up. So warrior one, we're pressing that left hip point forward, and we're dragging the right hip crease back. Right? If you like a little heart opener, you can cactus the arms here. Or keep the pinkies reaching up and rotating in. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, open, warrior two. I like to widen my stance here. Gaze is way out over the front middle finger. Right? You can drive down the pinky toe side of the back foot. Warrior two is a great, I don't know. I'm going to say something weird, so I think I'll just not say what I was about to say. But it's a good hip strengthener, right? You can really drive down the back leg and feel that whole hip hiking up and coming in. Let's inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse. Strong back leg. Feel that back hip doing the work here. On an exhale, extended side angle. Maybe elbow to knee, palm to the mat. Back arm sweeps either to 12 o'clock or all the way to the front of the room with the palm facing down. Maybe the left elbow, or maybe the right shoulder's pressing against the inside of the knee. On one more exhale here, and on an inhale, we'll press it up and back. We're going to straighten, carefully straighten that front leg. I'm going to walk my back foot up here because we're headed to triangle pose. So we're reversing our triangle. Inhale the right fingertips way out. Right, a little or a big bend in the front knee. Find the front shin with the right hand, left fingertips pressed to 12 o'clock. So this can feel like a heart opener if you kind of roll this whole rib cage up and open. Right, so your whole left ribs are coming up and open. The hip points press forward. One more inhale. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. We'll exhale the hands to the hips. Reach those left fingertips way out. We're going to come to revolve triangle. So we're in a half pyramid here. The low back is stable. The left fingertips are pressing outward. Then we're just going to drop and find the shin. And then the right hand reaches up. I like to keep my hand at the low back to make sure my pubic bone is curling forward and the lumbar spine is stable. Right? You should be able to theoretically set something down on the flat of your back and it wouldn't tip over. One more inhale. Exhale, release it down. Slowly, carefully bend into that front knee. We're going to find pyramid pose here. So, hands might be, I like to keep my hands at my low back in pyramid actually. Right, to make sure that lumbar spine is straight, the sternum is tracking out, the ribs are tracking back, if that makes sense. On an inhale, let's rise up, and we'll open up five-pointed star. Toes in, heels slightly out. We're going to lift the chest, open up here, then exhale and fold. Strong legs. Can you weight the big toe mound of the front foot? Right, the heels are a little bit light. Let go of the back of the neck. right? Finding some ease here in the upper body while the torso or while the legs do the work. Right, on an inhale, we'll halfway lift. On an exhale, Skandasana, bend the left leg. We're gonna stay up here. So pinky toe side of the front foot is grounded. Arms are straightish. Right, really trying to open up through the inside seam of the right leg. On an inhale, come through center, and on an exhale, other side. Right, we're really trying to drive down on the pinky toe side of the left foot and feel that nice deep stretch all the way up the inseam. Carefully, you're not feeling anything tuggy or sharp. On an inhale, come through center. On an exhale, we'll fold, maybe bending into the knees, releasing the back of the neck. 5 breaths here. If you have an inversion, feel free. But this early in practice, maybe you just bend into the knees and drive the sits bones up and away from one another. Right? That pressing up and out will actually help keep the hamstrings safe and make sure you're not tugging them out of their insertion points. Are those the end points up there? I don't know. It doesn't matter. On an inhale, halfway lift. On an exhale, hands to the hips. On the inhale, rise all the way up. And we'll pivot to face the front. The left leg should be back and the right leg should be forward. That's correct. On an inhale, lift up. On an exhale, back to pyramid pose. Right? So maybe bend the front knee slightly or a lot. Right? We're trying to drive the left hip point forward. Right? And as the sternum tracks out, the ribs hug up. Maybe trying to weight the big toe mound here. Make sure the feet are lively. On an inhale, we'll rise all the way up to standing, and we'll step that left leg all the way up. And then we're going to do some balancing posture standing on the left leg. So we'll start with a hand to big toe pose. So you can start in standing knee raise or grab the big toe, right? And then we're going to see if we can get the front of the thigh as close to the sternum as possible. And as we do that, we're going to see if we can hug the ribs back away from the leg. So the leg is trying to meet the sternum, but the ribs are hugging back. Right, then we'll open out. Trying to really press down through both corners of the grounded leg. A little lively left foot there will keep this hip engaged and help with the balance. Coming back through center. Maybe grabbing a hold of the sole of the foot and extending out. I just missed a phone call from my mom and dad. That's so exciting. I'm going to call them back in, 40 minutes or so. Oh. Exhale and release. Ooh, I'm excited. Let's see. Where were we? Oh, tree pose. One more balancing pose on that left leg. We're going to come to tree. So if you want, leave the toes grounded and widen that hip. Right, as the whole hip opens out, can you hug the, your underbutt down and in, right? So the hip is opening, but the whole carriage of the pelvis is tracking up and in toward the midline, right? So one more inhale. On an exhale, come through center. I feel like we've been on this leg for about a year. We'll extend and hold for 3 and 2 and 1. Release. Shake that leg out. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. We'll find that upright chair. Check in with the lumbar spine. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to come through a vinyasa here to make our way to downward facing dog. So plant the hands. Step back to your plank. Exhale, push up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. So this time we're going to keep the right foot planted and inhale the left heel high. Drag the toes in toward the face, right? Trying to keep the back of the neck easy here. We're gazing back at those toes. On an inhale, we'll open up the hips, squeeze the heel in toward the seat. Right, maybe that knee is pointing up toward the sky. On an inhale, re-extend. On an exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back, three-legged dog. One more time, we'll open up, scorpion that dog. On an inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose. And release the foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Right hip point is driving forward. Left hip crease is hugging back. Sternum is reaching up. Maybe heart opener here. One more inhale, trying to open the chest. Exhale, open, warrior two. So, once again, I like to widen my stance a bit. Make sure the knee is tracking behind the ankle. Strong back leg, yeah? The whole right hip is engaged and hugging down. Shoulders are right over the hips. On an inhale, reach forward. On an exhale, reverse, strong back leg. Front knee is tracking out, and we're headed to extended side angle. So elbow to knee, maybe you find the mat. Back arm to 12 o'clock with the palm forward, or all the way to the front of the room with the palm down. Right? Here in extended side angle, fingertips find the end of the earth there, shoulder plugs back. One more inhale. Exhale, gaze down. We'll inhale, reverse. From here, we'll straighten the front leg. I'm going to close up my stance a little bit because we're headed to triangle pose. Left leg is a little bit bent. We're reaching way out with the left fingers. Find the shin. Right arm sweeps to 12 o'clock. You might curl the pubic bone forward. You'll feel a little more stretch up along the outside of that right hip. Really trying to open up through the right ribs here. One more inhale. On an exhale, gaze down. On an inhale, reverse. We'll bring the hands to the hips. Maybe step the back foot up and out a little bit. We're revolving our triangle. Right, so we're going to flatten the back. Maybe bring the hands to the lumbar spine. Right fingertips this time reach way out. Then we're going to find the front shin or the mat. And then maybe you keep the left hand right on the low back. Maybe you press up. Inner thighs are scissoring. Back of the front knee is easy. One more inhale. Exhale, release it down. We're gently, carefully coming to pyramid pose. So you can keep the hands at the low back. Inner thighs are really scissoring together here. Sternum is tracking out. Ribs are tracking away from the front thigh. One more inhale. One more exhale. And on the inhale, rise all the way up. Step it to the front of the mat. And then we'll find wide angle, forward fold. So toes out, toes in, heels out. Let's fold forward, right? Maybe bend the knees, right? Keep the inner thighs, sort of, what am I saying? Keep the sits bones driving up and back. On an inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, left knee bends. And if you'd like, you can come into a bind here. Back of the left shoulder presses into the knee. Turn the thumb down and reach it around. And maybe you find the shirt or the fingers or the wrist of the opposite arm. So this eventually is going to lead us to bird of paradise. You can do that now, or you can wait until next time. All right, on an inhale, let's rise up and find center. Exhale, other side. Now we're bending into the left leg. Hug the ribs up and away from the earth. Right, pinky toe side of the far foot is really grounded. If you want that bind, back of the shoulder presses into the knee. Thumb faces down. You'll follow the thumb all the way around, and maybe that hand finds some version of the back one. Right, the shoulders here are trying to stack. On an exhale, we'll carefully release that. Come back to your wide angle forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hug those shoulders back. Exhale the hands to the hips. We'll inhale to rise all the way up. Step the feet to center. A few bouncy poses on that right leg. Yeah, I think that's correct. On the right leg. Yeah, standing on the right leg, which is my left. Okay, sorry. We're headed to hand to knee pose. So maybe you're coming into standing knee raise. You should be standing on your right leg. That's my left leg. Sorry. Right, hug that knee in. Right, and even as the sternum sort of reaches up and out, the ribs are hugging back away from the leg. Right, both corners of the front standing leg are driving down. On an inhale, let's open out. Yeah, strong standing leg now. That hip is doing some work here, right? The whole right hip is engaged. On an inhale, back through center. On an exhale, maybe give that leg some support, and we'll hold for 3 and 2 and 1 and release. We got one more balancing pose to do on that side. On the right leg, we'll come to tree pose. Yeah, so ground that standing leg, engage that quad, draw the pubic bone forward to drive the spine more straight. If that feels good, up. Avoid pressing the foot right into the knee joint, please. Your balance might be better over here or on the other side. On an exhale, let's bring that knee to the chest. Extend and hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Shake it out. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. We'll find that chair pose. Those of you who've been in my classes, I use this as an excuse to massage out the top of the standing leg there. One more inhale. Lift the chest. Exhale, let's fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. So maybe find a ragdoll here. Just let the torso get real heavy, bending into the knees. Just regroup for a moment. Check one thing. It's getting weird. Okay. So here we go. Let's go ahead and release the bind and step the feet about hips distance apart. Bend into the knees and fold. See if you can get, no matter how much you have to bend the knees, see if you can get the ribs, the front ribs, just right underneath the sternum sort of, to tap the quads, right? Maybe that means you're in a pretty deep squat here, but, right, see if you can keep the sternum tracking down, but the whole front core is hugging the torso up. It's supporting the weight of the torso so the legs don't have to, right? So breathe into that compression. On the inhale, feel the crown of the head and the ribs getting light. And on the exhale, see if you can hug the ribs back so you're not pressuring, putting more pressure on the legs. If you're starting to feel a little cramped in terms of the breathing, you got one more breath here. Let's take the inhale. And on the exhale, come back to ragdoll. Let the back of the head be easy. Maybe rock it out from side to side. And from here, we're going to step the left foot back and come into a lizard lunge. So just lower the back knee. Maybe walk the toes forward and turn the toes out so that they're in line with the knee. So we can press the front shoulder, the side of the outside, the back of the right shoulder into the knee. Right? See if you can, as we did before, track the sternum forward, but hug the ribs back. So that even here, the torso is sort of holding itself up. You're not only holding it up with the arms. Right leg is really opening out. The right hip is hugging down and under. Right, from here, we're going to see about bird of paradise. If that doesn't sound good to you, you don't have to worry about it. But let's come up off of the back knee, kind of this lifted low lunge. Right, and then we'll ground the pinky toe side of the back foot, if you can see that. Right, then we're going to come into that bind. So the right shoulder is going to press against the knee, thumb faces down, top arm comes around. Then you can baby step that left leg all the way up, then meet, then bring the weight into that left foot. Hug the ribs up, right? Hug the ribs up so the torso is coming up on its own and doing some work into this bird of paradise, right? You can extend out the heel if the hamstring is there. There's nothing magic about that, right? One more inhale, and exhale, we'll drop it down. Find your way back into that low lunge, that lizard lunge. Nice work. Maybe see what feels tired and what doesn't after that, because we're going to just switch out the legs. You might feel very, very different on one side than the other. If you want that full vinyasa, you can. I'm just going to step that right foot back and inhale the left leg forward and lower the back knee. Right? Toes can turn out. Knee follows the toes. Right? Sternum is reaching forward. The ribs are hugging back. Right hip is opening, but you can feel the whole left hip crease sort of hugging back. Did I say underbutt earlier? I'm not even sure what that means. Well, I do, but I don't think it's an official yoga term. Embarrassing. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into that bird of paradise bind if you want it. So lift the back knee, and essentially this is a simple twist. Yeah, we're going to down the back heel. Front shoulder presses into the inner knee. Thumb leads. Maybe you find the back hand. Then we'll baby step the right foot up. Now the right foot gets heavy. My balance will probably be better over here. We'll see. Right, and both sides of that bottom foot have to drive. Maybe you can extend the heel out, no big whoop. Maybe that doesn't feel great. Right, when you're ready, we'll exhale. Make your way back to that lizard carefully. Stepping the right leg back. Finding your way down to that nice easy lizard. And just see where you are and how that feels. All right, we'll step back to our high plank, and I'm going to come through a vinyasa here. You can if you feel like it. Exhale down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. Let go of the back of the neck. We're going to come through our standing postures with a little more dynamic movement this time. So inhale, look forward. Exhale, squatted dog. Inhale, step to the front of the mat, half lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Finding that upright chair. Pubic bone is curling up, tailbone is dialing long. One more inhale, lift through the sternum. Exhale, plant the hands. Left foot steps back. Left foot back, the right foot is forward. We're inhaling to warrior one. Whole left hip point is driving forward. Exhale, open warrior two. Maybe widen the stance. Inhale, reach ahead. Exhale, reverse. From here, extended side angle. We're going to go right into bird of paradise here if you'd like. Right? If you want to just hang out in the extended side angle, fine. But we'll find the bind potentially. Step the left foot up to meet the right. On an inhale, see if you can unweight those right toes. On an exhale, maybe you extend, and then we'll head back the way we came, lowering down, stepping that left leg back again. From here, we're going to straighten both legs. Whew. Thank you, and head to triangle pose. So, right fingertips reach out, find the front shin, inhale, lift up. Left ribs are opening here. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, this time we're going to come to half moon. So bend into the front knee. Maybe you find, let's see, a block or the floor or something. Right, but the left toes are pointed toward, well, I don't know where they're pointed towards, but they're pointed out. Yep. Maybe you can come off of that front hand. On an exhale, we'll release it back down and rise up. We're going to step the front foot forward. Inhale, lift up, revolve triangle. Left fingertips reach out, find the front shin. Right fingertips might stay at the low back or reach up. Belly is hugging in. Ribs are tracking back. Exhale down to pyramid. Inhale to warrior three. Bend the front knee. Left heel drives back. Left femur drives forward. One more inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Release it down. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up, chair pose. So we're gonna weight the left leg and find a figure four here, bringing the right ankle across. Maybe you bring the elbows down. Make sure you're flexing the lifted toes. I like to get the hands to the mat because it gives my leg a little more rest. There's all kinds of balancing you can do here, but I've neither, well, you can do it if you want. I cannot. I'm not there right now. On an inhale, let's release that foot carefully to the mat and stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming through those balancing postures on the left leg first. So right knee comes into the chest. Maybe grab the big toe and extend out. We'll open out. Notice, right, that this is just the exact same pose as bird of paradise, only without the bind and maybe hanging onto this toe. Inhale through center, exhale and release. We're going to go right to tree pose from here if it suits you. On an exhale, bring it in. Find the inner thigh. Half lotus is also available to you. Holding 3, holding 2, holding 1. Exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale, extend. Last hold this side, promise. 3, 2, 1. Release. Give it a shake. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. Maybe give those legs a mash. Okay, self, I was just doing that. This leg, I'll do it correctly the next time around. On an exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you know where we're headed. Vinyasa to get to down dog. skipping that. But here I am in down dog, ready to go. On an inhale, we're gonna lift the left heel high to the sky. Left heel lifts. On an exhale, bring the heel to the seat, open up. On an inhale, re-extend. Exhale, knee to nose, foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, open, warrior two. So really drive the feet wide here. On an inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse, strong back leg. Exhale, extended side angle, where we bring the right hand down and left fingertips up. And here's bird of paradise if you want it, right? Front shoulder rotates inward. Maybe you find the bind. Left foot inhales up. Exhale here. We'll inhale, get light. Oh, am I doing this on the same damn leg? Whoops. I don't remember. I feel like I am. I hope you're doing this on your other leg. And if not, you know, it's all going to come out in the wash over time. So release. Step it back. Where are we headed? We should head to triangle pose. Let's straighten up the front leg. Reach. Yeah, we should have the right leg back and the left leg forward for this triangle. I'm for sure that's definitely where we are. Inhale, lift those fingertips high. Right, the back right leg is really driving down, helping to anchor this triangle. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. We'll exhale the hands to the hips. And we're going to bring, half moon, right? Bend the front knee. Maybe find the mat. And lift those right toes up. Yeah, the hips are both engaged, right? Opening, but also hugging into midline of the back body. On an exhale, release that foot all the way back down. We'll straighten both legs and head to revolve triangle. So bending out over the front knee, reaching the right fingertips out. We'll find the floor or the shin. Back hand is keeping the lumbar spine honest. Then maybe you extend. Right, make sure that you're not feeling anything tweaky behind that back knee. On an exhale, we'll release it down. And on an inhale, rise up to warrior three. Maybe you bring the hands to heart center. Maybe you find the lumbar spine. Encourage that right hip to level out. And on an exhale, we'll fold forward. Easy forward fold. On an inhale, let's rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. And from here, we'll do those balancing postures on the right leg. So strong right quad, left shin comes in, and then we'll open out. Right, see if this feels familiar, right? This is our exact same pose, just with options. Right? Maybe just this is enough. We'll come through center, extend the heel, plug the femur in for 3 and 2 and 1, coming to tree pose or half lotus. If the knee and the hip allow, half lotus is frankly easier because the bind is a little tighter, and that makes the balance a little more easy. One more inhale. On an exhale, bring the knee to the chest. Exhale, extend. We'll hold. We're headed to our seats here soon. In 2, in 1, release. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms up. Maybe give the tops of the feet a little squish. On your next inhale, let's rise up. Cactus the arms out. Inhale through center. We'll exhale and fold. Halfway lift, shoulders hug back. We're gonna find a seat here. Yep. All right. So, finding a seat with the legs extended. Hopefully this is seeable. I'm not gonna mess with my cameras and stuff because I think this will work. All right. So, legs extended. Grab the flesh of the bum and walk it north. The heels will walk back. Right? Maybe your knees are bent if your hamstrings are feeling cooked tight or whatever. Right? But let's see if you can drive the balls of the feet forward. Right? So there's an outward pressure even as the toes draw back. Right? On an inhale, lift up. Strong quads here. Sternum is going to go way out beyond the toes. Feet are still strong. The base of the toes and the sternum are going the same direction here. The sits bones and the front core is going the opposite direction. Shoulders as well. Yeah, the shoulders are plugging back. So there's forward movement here. There's backward movement there. Or inward, maybe not backward. One more full breath. Take the inhale. Shoulders back and down on the exhale. Inhale through center. If you want a full vinyasa here, you can. Cross the feet, plant the hands. I need a little more lift, so I come up onto my fists. Right? You can plant the toes, lift your bum, and then maybe creep the feet back. Exhale. We're meeting in forward or a seat with the legs extended. Let's keep the left leg straight and draw the right leg in for kind of a hip opener here. So again, the grounded leg, your left leg here is driving. The ball of the foot is driving. We'll put the sole of the lifted leg into the inner elbow and cradle the outside knee. Flex the toes a little bit here so the knee stays safe. If that feels good, you can just hang out here. If you'd like a little more, you can see this is also related to the bird of paradise we've been doing. Back of the shoulder can come into the inner knee, right? It's exactly what we did before, right? Whoops, piano, right? Exactly the same thing, only on our seats, right? If that feels all right, see if you can press the arm back against the inner thigh. Maybe you can start extending the heel out. Don't tug on the hamstring. Right, but this is that the bird of paradise extension. If you're feeling it, you might find the bind there. Compass pose, no big deal. Let's release that foot down into tree pose. So Janu Shirsasana, the ball of the foot is going to come somewhere in the inner thigh. Strong, straight leg here. So we're going to send the sternum beyond the toes, ribs and shoulders back. Ball of the foot is still pressing. Maybe you're hanging onto your shin here. Sternum is trying to reach it out past the toes here. Belly is drawing up and in because the ribs are tracking back. On an inhale, rise up. We're going to come into a side stretch here. Maybe the forearm finds the inside of the leg, maybe just the palm. On an inhale, we'll lift the top arm, that back arm, up and over. So you can bring the left ear toward the left knee and maybe find the front toes. I sort of hate that stretch. I don't know why. It always makes me feel ambitious and paranoid. So I like to press into this grounded arm and treat this like a heart opener. Sweep those right fingertips up and open. The thumb heads back. Sternum is lifting up. Even here, the low belly is hugging in to give my lumbar spine some support. Shoulder down and into its socket. On an inhale, come through center. On an exhale, we're going to lift this knee up and cross it over. Right? So then we're going to bring weight into the right hand behind the hip. Inhale the left arm up high, and we're going to cross the elbow around the knee. Maybe it feels better just to hang on to that knee. So drive the back palm down, feel the whole rib cage lift up, and then find your twist. The stronger the straight leg is, the deeper and safer the twist will be. Right? So maybe check in with the big toe mound. Can you drive it away a little bit? So the whole body has something to lift up and away from. Really, with every inhale, feel the sternum tracking up and away from the hips. With every exhale, bring the ribs back to make room for a little bit more depth. One more inhale. One more exhale. And on the inhale, we'll release. And we're just going to switch out the legs. So the right leg will stay straight, and the left leg will come into that cradling pose. Yeah, strong standing leg. The ball of that foot is engaged and driving. And then maybe you just play around with this hip opener in whatever way that feels good to you. If you want that compass pose kind of thing, you can see if you can bring the back of the shoulder to find the inside of the thigh. Right? If you can backpack that leg, you might ground the left palm. Right? And again, this is exactly what we do in extended side angle, bird of paradise with the bind. All that stuff is the same stuff we do every day in class. So no magic tricks there, just extended side angle. All right, so maybe just one more breath where you are. And on the exhale, bring that leg back down, finding tree pose. Remember, strong standing leg, the ball of the foot is active. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drive the sternum way out. Sometimes I like to cross the hands around the shin or the foot to sort of emphasize that twisting sensation as the sternum tracks out over the right toes. Shoulders are easy here. Nothing tweaky in the back of the knee. On an inhale, we'll lift up. Here's our side bend. Exhale, we'll ground the forearm or the right palm. Inhale, left fingertips up and over. Right, you can kind of go the ear to knee variety, or you can open up, sternum lifting up, thumb tracking back as the shoulder drags down. Really taking some deep breaths here. One more exhale. And on the inhale, we'll lift up. Cross the feet, plant the hands. You can find that vinyasa if you want by pressing the hips up, walking or floating the toes back. We're going to meet in a seat with the legs extended. And from here, we'll go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. So give yourself a good squeeze here. As much compression as feels right, feels okay. See if you can bring the chin down and really let go in the back of the neck. Let go in the muscles of the face. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to reach all the way back, lying down. Oh, I owe us a spinal twist. Sorry about that. That's your homework. On an exhale, easy here with the breath. If you want to bring, I like to weight the back of the head lift the shoulders and then drag them down. If that doesn't tweak out the neck at all, obviously. Palms face up here. Allow yourself to find stillness. And maybe take these few moments to observe the body without judgment. The toes splay out. The heels, the calves, and the hips are heavy. The shoulders allow the earth to carry their weight. The forearms are easy, and even the fingertips here curl without effort. If your palms are facing up, you might feel the energy of our practice pooling in the cradle of your palms, as if you were holding 2 stars with no effort at all. Know that that energy will come with you for whatever it is that you need for the rest of your day, your weekend. Perhaps it'll be an act of kindness, an act of care, an act of resistance. The muscles of the face are at ease, and even the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. And if you have the luxury of time, I welcome you to stay exactly where you are in this position of rest for as long as you can. Allow the body to recharge after the good work that you've put it through, to power you for whatever good trouble you might need to get into. I bring my thumbs to my third eye, and thank y'all so much for sharing this hour with me. Namaste, y'all. Thanks. All right. Thanks, everybody. See y'all later.